408 years ago, Percival Baxter gave his first gift of land to the people of Maine, establishing Baxter State Park. In that time, there have been 5 directors, the latest Eben Sypitkowski, who got the job in June of 2018. He's a good Bangor boy, a graduate of Bates, who got a master's in forestry from UMaine, and it's his job of leading the mission of keeping Baxter forever wild. Unique among American lands, Baxter State Park remains a constant and therefore recedes in time in a rapidly changing world. When you drive up to the gate, they ask if you're from Maine. If you are, they invite you in, as admission is free for Mainers.
Sure do. That's still the deal. Yeah, it's the People's Park. This place was given to the people of the state of Maine by Governor Baxter over the course of 30 years.
Eben Sypitkowski is now leading the effort to protect this most precious and beautiful piece of back country. He's 36 years old and studies the deeds of gift which Baxter wrote as he contributed 28 pieces of land which form the 200,000-plus acre park.
This is really fascinating work, bringing together various constituencies that are interested in this wilderness park, trying to sort of bring together a staff and align us towards and remind us of the roots of our mission here. And yeah, you're dealing with people and passion that they have for a particular place.
He often drives the loop road, which is sometimes called the green tube. It's not made for views.
Give me just a little slack.
Currently, experts are preparing to move major trails which are worn down by a half-century of heavy use.
There's more than 220 miles of trail in the park, and a lot of it has been very heavily used for a long time. It takes a long time to shift these generally onto harder surfaces or to make durable surfaces out of parts of them, like stepping stones, like staircases, this kind of thing.
Eben also must deal with pressures from outside the park, which infringe on visitors' ability to disconnect from the busy world.
We have much more of a rustic experience here. You're not going to find cell phone service, at least for the time being. We're nervous about that change in the future. That is likely to come somewhere outside the park. We can't block those signals, but for now, this is a great place to and it will always be a great place to come and disconnect from the pings and dings of the digital world.
But let's face it, Katahdin is the heart of Baxter. It is magnificent, a beautiful mountain, and everybody wants to climb it. It is the northern terminus of the AT, which adds to its attraction and presents a challenge as thousands through hike every year. However, when they get to Baxter, the rules of the trail change. When Eben was still a forester, Scott Urak set a record by running the AT. When he got here, park authorities responded by ticketing him, which caused his sponsors to step back.
What that really did was spark a conversation that has allowed us as a park to communicate our concerns and problems that we were having to the other communities that are also having similar problems in different parts of the trail. So now there's much more of a collaborative effort to sort of address whether it be cultural issues or just sort of informational issues, and that channel of communication, I think, is making for a better approach to problem solving in the future, and those problems are already contracting in size.
Eben's wife Lucy works on community revitalization as Community Development Director of Our Katahdin. Daughter Maisie is one of 27 children born in Millinocket in 2017. They are part of a new group in town, one which does not share the mill background, but works and hopes for a bright future for their community.
For the time that we have for it with a 2-year-old and both having fairly demanding jobs is ample. We have a small group of friends, and we live by the river, and it's when we get outside when we can, and there's a new trend of bringing really good beer to the area too. We're waiting on that first brewery to come to town.
Being part of the future here and getting that future right is Eben's job. He's a quiet organizer who wants many voices to be heard, and he wouldn't mind if you visited the park without climbing the mountain.
So there's a lot to do here, which is something I want to say for those of you that are struggling to find a day-use parking reservation for Katahdin. There's a lot more to do here, and frankly, you can have a really great experience without ever stepping foot on that mountain. There's a lot of beautiful places to exert yourself and look at that mountain. You don't have to necessarily get on the summit of it to really appreciate how wonderful it is.
Katahdin may be a more iconic Maine image than any lighthouse. Baxter State Park is an enormous gift which presents an enormous responsibility for Eben Sypitkowski. We all own Baxter, and it's his job to make sure that all our voices are heard. At 36, Eben is the second youngest person to ever hold that job.